Okay, so the purpose of this little video is just a simple experiment, and it's to demonstrate that this Surveymaster moisture meter, it's possible for it to detect moisture that's behind a ceramic tile. It does tell you this in the manufacturer's instructions anyway, and their guidance, that it is possible for it to do that. In order to do that, you have to have it in non-invasive mode rather than pin mode. Okay, so I've got this meter in non-invasive mode, and I've just done a simple test here which proves this is possible. So I've got a ceramic tile here on the floor, and if I put this moisture meter on it, you can see that it's dry. Okay, it's showing dry on there. The reading is dry. Okay, right, so I've got a cloth here. The cloth is clearly wet. You can see that that cloth is in water. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze the cloth out a little bit. Just let the most of the water come out of it, and I'm just going to lay this on the floor. So clearly that piece of cloth is wet. Okay, you can see that it's just come out of this water that I've dipped it in. Okay, so what we want to do now is get this ceramic tile, and then we will put it on top of that wet piece of cloth, and then we'll see whether or not the moisture meter is able to read and detect the moisture that's behind the ceramic tile. Okay, so here's the ceramic tile. Just before we do that again, for the avoidance of any doubt, let's just test it. So you can see there that it's dry. It shows dry on the reading there on the screen. Okay, so there's no moisture there in that tile whatsoever. Right, so let's put the tile on top of that wet piece of cloth. So I've put the tile on top of the wet piece of cloth now. Now let's put the meter on top of the dry tile that is on top of the wet piece of cloth. And you can see that it's now showing a wet reading on there, because in non-invasive mode this meter uses radio waves, so it's capable of going through the tile to detect the moisture that's behind the tile on this wet piece of cloth. So I did do a previous video about this, but I just wanted to actually demonstrate that the tile that I'm using is dry, and therefore you can use this meter to detect moisture that's behind a tile, even if the tile itself might be dry on the surface of it. We just take the tile off again. Okay. Now the tile is on a dry surface. Let's see what happens now if we put the moisture meter on there. You can see now it's on a dry surface. There's not any moisture at all that it's reading. And let's just do that again. So the tile's completely dry, and now let's just go and put that back on to the wet piece of cloth. And now let's put the moisture meter on it once again. You can see there it's going reading. It's just turned off. I'll turn it back on again. It's showing that there's moisture behind the tile. So you can use it to test for moisture behind a ceramic tile, and that's a Surveymaster moisture meter.